We're live right now. Hi,
We are.
guys. We're on That Oregon Live. This is Chief Don Ivy, the chief of the Coquel Indian tribe. I said it right.
You did. You said it absolutely right.
So that's one of the things I want to talk to you about real quick, just as a clarification, because a lot of people call you the Coquille tribe because of the town of Coquille,
Right.
spelled the same way,
Right.
but it's not the same.
Well, until about the 1940s, it was still Coquel City, and many of the old timers that are still around today, the few that are left, still refer to the river as the Coquel River. So the pronunciation of Coquel is something that was still going on during pioneer days that changed over time as settlers moved into the area. We're more familiar with the Euro-American language. Coquille is shell in French. Michi, the word for the upper Coquille River, also means shell.
Oh, I didn't know.
So there was some way for people to connect that idea of shell to a Euro-American pronunciation, and that's how we get to where we are today with Coquille, that hard sound, being Coquille City and the Coquille River, and the tribe still maintaining its Coquel pronunciation, which has some other roots besides just the French interpretation.
So how many people in the Coquel tribe?
There are over 1,000 of us who are enrolled tribal members. There's some eligibility criteria that happens with that. About half of us live in southwestern Oregon, Coos, Curry, Jackson, Douglas, Lane counties. The other half live either in Oregon, somewhere else in Oregon, or elsewhere on the planet. I think we're represented by 26 states in the United States, and I believe 16 countries internationally that tribal members live in.
How often are you all together?
We try to get together, and I'm going to say 300 or 400, 500 sometimes, twice a year. Restoration celebration that happens at the end of June, and then again at our winter gathering that happens in in January. Both of those events are timed against the solstice, which is a traditional time for Native peoples all over the Pacific Northwest. And those are the times when we make a big effort to get as many people back home as possible. Of course, not everybody can get here, but certainly we extend that invitation, and many people attend those events that otherwise don't get a chance to come to town.
So as chief, you're elected.
I'm an elected official of the tribal council. There's 7 of us. We all serve 3-year terms. Those terms are staggered, so there's no change out on a regular basis. And as an elected official, part of my duties are to be an officer of the tribal council as part of the legislative body. Part of my job is to interact with the public in public outreach events, or when guests come to town who want to talk about the heritage and culture of the tribe. And part of what I do also is to perform ceremonial functions when the tribe is holding its own events.
Are people outside the tribe allowed to come to those?
The people outside the tribe are always welcome to attend if they've been invited to attend. And one of the reasons that we have the Millock Salmon celebration that we do every year right here at this fire pit we're standing next to at the second week of September is in fact to give us the opportunity to engage the public in celebrating some of our cultural traditions that come from the past that we still celebrate today.
So what do you do? What is a salmon bake?
Well, the salmon bake, or the restoration celebration includes a salmon bake. The Millock Salmon celebration also includes a salmon bake. We're cooking fish on sticks and buried in the ground here at the fire pit. We're practicing making regalia, things like I have on.
I think that's cool too.
Basket making, tool making, all sorts of things that allow us to engage with the public in a very casual atmosphere over the course of a couple days. Do some powwow drumming, do some traditional dancing.
So we can come.
Traditional singing. And that is the second weekend of September, the weekend after Labor Day, every year right here in this spot.
That would be fun. And it would give us a chance to because don't you think people, I don't know, what do you call me? I mean, I'm just a...
Right now I'm calling you my friend.
but we don't really understand the tribes because we're not part of that, and you know what I mean?
And that's part of the reason for having those events and making them open to the public, so that we can in fact present ourselves in a very public fashion, engage with the public in a more casual atmosphere, and not get caught up in what quite frankly are the logistics of trying to do a tribal event, a public event, and take care of some of the other things that happen around all of that. So we do the similar sort of thing with, we do barbecue blues and brews at Labor Day, or Memorial Day. That's another opportunity to get people on our property.
And you guys, this coming weekend, they're having a food cart competition where I can't remember how many food carts are coming in.
I heard there's more than 20, and yeah, there are going to be a bunch of people standing in line to buy truck bucks and then do some sampling and some
it's all
judging.
here, right?
And it's right here in the space that we're in right now.
So that's a huge event, and that's coming because everybody in town down here, we're down here for a couple of days, and everybody's been talking about that.
Well, everybody's talking about that, but they're also hoping that the good weather that you brought with us to Coos Bay sticks around after you've left for this weekend.
Chief, I hope it does too. I really do. I really do. So the significance you guys have made in this community, and then I'm going to do this because I know you don't do this kind of stuff, but you guys have that investment behind us. And thank you for putting us up in that room right in
welcome.
there.
You're welcome.
Right back there, guys. We're right in one of those rooms. Beautiful place.
Yes, it is.
You've brought economic development to Coos Bay. I said to my wife today, it's kind of interesting that where the Weyerhaeuser plant, the largest employer up through the 80s, used to sit, now you guys have kind of reinvented the property, and you're probably one of the largest employers in the area.
Well, let me frame that whole observation in a different sort of way.
Go for it, dude.
Once upon a time, this was all Indian land, and in the 1870s, Indian people lived here still while settlement was happening around. This was loosely referred to as a reservation in newspaper articles. So what's happened is the Coquille Indian tribe, with its own resources, has brought back to Indian ownership and management, and as our home, a place that used to be the home of Native peoples, was supplanted by shipbuilding, coal mining, power plants, Weyerhaeuser lumber mills, all sorts of stuff. And now it's back to us. It's Indians back on their own land after 150 years of being dismissed and excused from it.
I love that. And you know what I like about that, Chief, a lot too? What I think is really cool about that is you've also proven as a people that you mix with us, you create economy, you have great value to the people, you put a ton of money into this area, in social services and stuff like that, and so you kind of, I mean, it's not even not only restored, but you've kind of I don't know how to say this and be kind, but you've kind of shown everybody, see, we really can do this.
Well, part of that is an obligation that we have as people in our traditions. We're part of the potlatch tradition, and the potlatch tradition that dictates when people come to town who are our friends or our guests, we have to take care of them. We teach our children. Potlatch is to share with each other and to care for each other. So we have an obligation that our success and a recognition that our success is interdependent on the success of the people around us. Not only do we have an opportunity to take and receive, but that obligates us to reciprocity in which we have to give back. So everything that we've done is a balance of what can we do to help ourselves, but how can we do that in a way that helps others? Because we need others to help us.
Gosh, we could use a lot more of your potlatch around this country right now, couldn't we?
Well, when you hang around the Pacific Northwest, that potlatch tradition manifests itself lots of ways, and it's too bad that we haven't been able to translate that into some of our political systems.
Now,
that's a different conversation.
Yeah, and we're going to get ourselves in big trouble. You and I are both going to get fired.
Right there.
Yeah. So we saw your potlatch, the way you've treated my wife and me, giving us a room here for 2 nights,
yes.
And not just a basic room. They gave us a really super cool room. And
well, why wouldn't we give you the best room we could? Because we know you're going to go out into the world and you're going to talk to your friends.
I know that.
And we want your friends to know that you're our friend.
You're a smart man. Hey, thanks again for this. Again, the salmon bake is what weekend?
The salmon bake, or what we call the Millock Salmon Celebration, is the second weekend of September.
Okay, get that on your calendar.
We hold that in conjunction with the Coos Bay Basin Salmon Derby. So right behind us out here in this beautiful Coos Bay, on that very same weekend, while there's hundreds of people here eating salmon, there's hundreds of boats out there catching fall Chinook on Coos Bay. Come on down.
I'm coming back. Can you get that room for me again? All right. So you guys share this with your friends. Share this with other people. We'll be back in a little bit. We're going to go talk to the mayor of North Bend from under the bridge to show you. We're going to be out at the airport in the tower. Yeah, you don't get to go in the tower unless you come with me. And then we've got some special food for you at the end of the day. So stay with us.
I got to say something real quick.
Go for it, Chief.
Shoe and Halney. Take care.
All right. Shoe and Halney. More potlatch.